Hello everybody and welcome to This Week In. It's a brand new series and this week we will be covering college football. I'm Matt.
And I'm Michael.
And we will be going over all the games that are happening this week. We have a lot of games to get to, so let's go ahead and get started with UAB at Miami. Relatively easy game to call, I would think. I went with Miami and you went with Miami as well.
Yeah.
Any surprise here? Anything to add? I'm just excited to see Derek King and see what he can bring to the Miami offense.
Nothing new.
All right. Miami's actually favored 72% in the FPI, and the spread is 14.5. So Miami wins big. Next game, Syracuse, North Carolina. Who'd you go with?
I would pick North Carolina for this game. I think Sam Howell will have a good year, and they might make it into the ACC championship. This year.
Yeah, I completely agree. Sam Howell's going to be great. He could even be a finalist for the Heisman this year. Last year, threw for over 3,500 yards, had over 38 touchdowns. So, going to be a great game. I think North Carolina wins big. I think North Carolina wins big by 30 points. Next game, the Ragin' Cajuns out of Louisiana going against number 23 Iowa State. Not really a contest here either. A lot of these games not really going to be anything interesting.
I don't know too much about either of these teams, but Iowa State's ranked, so going with them.
Yeah, I went with Iowa State too. Don't know much either. Just got to go with the FBS team over the Division II team. Next game, Charlotte 49ers and App State. I'm a big App State fan. What you have anything to say?
Both of these teams are close to home.
Oh yeah.
From where we're home from, and I don't know. I like App State too in this one.
Yeah. I picked App State too. The 49ers, still a relatively new team. They're still trying to find their feet. App State's starting to come around. Been ranked the past few years. See if they can crack top 25 again this year. Next game is Eastern Kentucky versus West Virginia. Another non-contest.
Yeah, I agree.
West Virginia by a lot.
Not too much to argue about so far.
No. Next one is Arkansas State and Kansas State. Again, this one could be close just because Kansas State has not been relevant for the past few years.
That's true. That is true. I think Kansas State this one also.
Yeah, me too. Kansas State. Next one, ULM and Army. We're probably going to disappoint the Duck Dynasty boys a little bit here, but they probably should. If they looked at this without a bias, they would probably go with Army as well.
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah. Now the next matchup, Duke and Notre Dame. This is the one I'm very excited to watch. I cannot wait to watch this one. 2:30. I cannot wait. I'm ready to see Chase Bryce in action with his new team. I think he'll do great. I think he could pull like a Daniel Jones and maybe get drafted high whenever he decides to leave. Does Duke have a chance here?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Duke has a good chance. They might pull off a top 10 upset this weekend.
Does that mean you picked them?
No, I did not pick Duke. I still picked Notre Dame. Even though former Clemson quarterback Chase Bryce, we starting something new at Duke, so we got to go with Ian Book. I think they might be good this year in the ACC conference, and they might have a chance to also go to the ACC championship.
Yeah, I agree. I really want to pick Duke. My heart wants to, but I got to think with my mind football-wise. Notre Dame's just too much power on both sides of the ball. I think it'll be close.
It'll be a good game either way.
I think it's going to be close. Just because I think Chase Bryce is going to have that chip on his shoulder to prove himself. It just depends if Duke's defense can make enough stops.
Yeah, that's true.
Next game, another ACC matchup, Georgia Tech and Florida State. Georgia Tech always has that triple option, so it'll always be a tough matchup.
Yeah. I would go with Georgia Tech in this game. I don't think Florida State's going to start off with the new coach good, Mike Norvell, out of Memphis, I believe.
Yeah.
From Memphis. I don't think they're going to start off this year too good, but maybe by the end they'll pull it together and start a new program.
Yeah,
with the triple option though.
Yeah, triple option's always tricky. You really always have to watch out for those teams. But I'm going with Florida State. I have enough faith in Memphis' ex-head coach. I think Florida State has too much talent. Marvin Williams on the other side of the ball is going to wreak havoc on their triple option. Georgia Tech still there. I think that Florida State will make enough headway against Georgia Tech to pull off the win.
We'll see.
UTSA against I think that's North Texas.
Texas State Bobcats.
Texas State Bobcats. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. Again, don't really know much.
Yeah. I like Bobcats. So
yeah. Go Bobcats. Next one, we have the Campbell Camels and the Georgia Southern Eagles.
Yes.
I like Campbell's. That's a funny mascot.
Yeah, I would pull for Campbell's, but I know Georgia Southern, as we played them a couple times, and I think they'll beat Campbell.
Yeah, I'm going with Georgia Southern as well. We have Austin. Probably should have looked up how to pronounce this before. Austin P. We have Austin P. Governors going against the Pittsburgh Panthers. ACC team going against a relatively unknown school.
Pittsburgh on this one.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, hopefully by a lot. I want to say by a lot.
Their quarterback. What's his name for Pittsburgh? I don't know. I don't know him either.
No, I don't know.
Pittsburgh
by a lot. Let's go Panthers. We have Missouri State going against Oklahoma. Are you going to jump the gun and say Missouri State wins?
No, I'm not. I'm going with Oklahoma. The new quarterback, Spencer Rattler. They say he's going to be good. It'll be interesting to watch. And they might have a chance to make the college football playoff this year, but we'll have to see how they play throughout the year.
Yeah, I have in my notes here that Spencer Rattler could be the, what is it? I have it right here. The third out of the last 4 years Heisman winner out of Oklahoma. With Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts did really great last year. Just wasn't good enough to win the Heisman with Joe Burrow being as fantastic as he was. But of course, Oklahoma. Next game, we have the Citadel going against USF. Jeff Scott's first game as a head coach coming out of Clemson. What do you think happens?
I think Jeff Scott was going to start this new program, USF off good, and I think they'll beat Citadel in this opener.
Yeah, I completely agree. Jeff Scott's going to bring his fantastic offensive mind from Clemson. He's going to help revitalize that program. He's going to help bring in some new recruits, and we might have another contender out of the American Conference in the next couple of years. So I'm going USF as well by a landslide. Next matchup is game day. We have Clemson versus Wake Forest.
The Deacons.
The Deacons.
I think.
What you think?
I think Clemson's gonna dominate. They'll have a great year. They'll obviously have a great chance to go back to the college football playoff for like the 5th or 6th year. And Wake Forest really got hurt this year by their quarterback Jamie Newman going to Georgia.
Completely agree.
Even though I don't think he's playing this year, he opted out.
No, he opted out. He's done.
So I don't know, but I'm going with Clemson.
Yeah.
Easy pick.
I agree. Easy pick. I'm going with Clemson as well. And I think it'll be interesting to watch the receiving core, considering Justin Ross is still out. A lot of new faces.
Lost T. Higgins in the draft.
Yeah,
so.
it's gonna be different. And the offensive line's gonna be a little different too. They lost a couple guys up there. They still have Jackson Carman on the left tackle, so they'll still have that anchor. Braden Galloway is gonna finally get to play after getting suspended for the year with Ostering or whatever it is.
The tight end spot.
Yeah. And defensively, the loss of Isaiah Simmons is going to be huge. Yeah. The only proven guy is James Skalski in the linebacking core. That'll be interesting to see. And there's a lot of new faces in the secondary too, especially Nolan Turner, Darion Kendrick, only guys that I can think of that are coming back. And Darion Kendrick, he can be spotty sometimes.
That's right.
And what else? I had something else I was going to say.
I think Brent Venables going to have that defense ready to go though, like he always does.
Yeah. I agree. Still by a landslide. Just Wake Forest. If they had Jamie Newman, they would be a formidable opponent. I don't think it'll be close.
It'll be good in the first quarter, but after that, Clemson will pull away.
Maybe DJ Uiagalelei is going to get some playing time.
Maybe so.
Next game, relatively unknown teams, so let's just jump right into it. Tulane Green Wave versus the South Alabama Jaguars. Who you got?
I got Tulane the Wave. You know what I'm saying? So let's go Tulane.
I got the Wave as well. Let's go. UTEP versus Texas. Let's see. Is Texas back?
Oh, Texas back, baby. Besides Oklahoma, they're probably the best team in the Big 12. I think they have a great shot to win the Big 12 and maybe make the college football playoff, but we'll see.
Are you high on Sam Ehlinger?
I
think he's got a chance?
He'll have a chance to be really good this year, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see how he plays out. They say he's a top for Heisman though, so he might have a great year. I don't know.
Sam Ehlinger, ever since he's been in the NCAA, they've always been high on him at the beginning of the year. Whether he pans out this year or not, it's going to be difficult to tell because is just playing conference games besides UTEP. So will he be going against good defenses? The Big 12's never had really good defenses.
Nope.
So it'll just be interesting to see what he can do. But of course,
he will need to play good for his NFL draft stock. Though.
Yes, completely agree with you.
So I'm pulling for him though. Hope he does good.
I've always pulled for him, but it's just, can he do good or not?
We'll see.
Next game, an ACC non-conference matchup. We have Western Kentucky versus Louisville. Who you got?
I got Louisville. I think after losing Lamar Jackson a couple years ago, they went on downfall, but I think they're going to start picking it back up. Hopefully this year.
Yeah.
I think they ended last year pretty solid too, didn't they? Or am I wrong?
No, I can't think off the top of my head, but they weren't.
No.
I mean, they were pretty low in the ACC.
Right.
I think this team has not been relevant since Lamar Jackson, and I think they're going to continue that trend. Still going with Louisville. It's going to be close.
Louisville got it.
It's going to be close, but Louisville's going to have another tough season this year. Possibly 3 wins.
Oh, really?
3. They're not going to be good this year.
They'll get over 500, I think.
Their quarterback, I'm pretty sure, is still Jerome Pass. He has not been good.
We'll see. I'm going with Louisville though, either way.
All right, now we got Houston Baptist University versus Texas Tech. Shockers! Let's go ahead and go through it. Texas Tech. Who is Houston Baptist University? Who's scheduling these games? Pick somebody harder. Let's go. Come on. All right, one more game in week one of this crazy college football season. We have Coastal Carolina versus Kansas University. Now, the Chanticleers. I love their field. I love the mascot. I love the uniforms, everything about them. I'm high on the Chanticleers. I always love cheering for them. Who are you going with though?
Even though Coastal Carolina is probably the best punter in college football.
Oh yeah, whoop whoop.
Still gonna have to go with Kansas State and Les Miles. I think they'll have a chance to do okay.
Oh, that's a good pick.
We'll see. So I'm going with Kansas.
Les Miles. I forgot that old grass muncher over there, Les Miles is.
He still got it. He still got it.
He still had. Did he have it at LSU though?
He's gonna turn him around.
He had like 2 good years.
He won a national championship.
Like 2 good years.
It's still pretty good.
Let's see if he can turn it around in Kansas. I'm going with the Chanticleers. I have faith in the best punter in the nation. Yeah, over there in Coastal Carolina.
The punter always will do good.
He's in the short list for the Ray Guy Award this year, so we'll see what he can do. Now let's hop into some Heisman predictions. We have our predictions for the upcoming 2020 season. We have our top 3 picks. We have not seen these. So let's just jump right in. We'll have both of our Heisman winners right here on the board. We have both of us picking Trevor Lawrence. Do you have anything to add?
Pretty easy pick based off this preseason, and Clemson don't have any history with the Heisman, so maybe Trevor Lawrence could be the first one.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's got new faces, like I said, with the Wake Forest Clemson game, but as much of an NFL talent as he is, and with no Justin Fields playing this year, unless the Big Ten decides to change, which they might, they've been flip-flopping like crazy. He's pretty much a lock, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless some fluke accident happens, which, Lord willing, does not. All right, let's go number 2. Let's see what we have. Wow. Okay, I went Chuba Hubbard. Is that Sam Ellinger?
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell. Yeah. Really? That looked like Sam Ellinger. Sam Howell with number 2.
I'm telling you.
Number 2.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Chubb was a good pick for 2 though, but I don't think Oklahoma State has it. Sam Howell's gonna have another great year. He's gonna be top 3 or 4.
Sam Howell. Yeah. I'm all for it, but wow. I'm a Mac Brown fan, North Carolina. All best of luck, but I don't know.
Don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him.
Chuba Hubbard, another safe pick.
Yeah.
He knocked socks off last year. I think he'll do it again. Stayed out of the draft this year to prove something. I think he'll be ETN-esque, but the fact that Clemson has Trevor Lawrence, I think Lawrence is going to overshadow whatever ETN does this year. All right, and our number 3. I went with Mac Jones, and you went with Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah. I don't even know who Mac Jones is.
Yes, you do. That's Alabama's quarterback this year. He took him.
He has no experience.
He has no experience, but he has the receiving core. I know this is a bit of a stretch, but with Jalen Waddle, I think he has a chance. And he did pretty good last year in the couple games that he played. And you always know Alabama quarterbacks, they're always up there. They're always going to be good.
It's always have a chance. That's not a terrible pick, but
that surprises me. Sam Howell, I really thought just because I was like, there's no way that you pick Sam Howell, I was like, that's going to be Sam Ehlinger. All right, so that's a wrap for this week in college football. See y'all next week when we discuss next week's games. I'm Matt Smart.
I'm Michael Dixon.
And thank y'all for watching. We always end on a fist bump.